Are you ready to ascend? When the Son completed the work with which he was entrusted on earth, the Holy Spirit was sent on the day of Pentecost to sanctify the church unceasingly, and thus enable believers to have access to the Father through Christ. That's a quote from Lumen Gentium, which is a document from the Second Vatican Council. And that quote really sums up the readings for this week. We're kind of in a liminal space between Jesus completing his work and then ascending into heaven, and Pentecost, when the Holy Spirit descended upon the disciples, filling them with the Spirit. One reality is about ascending once your work is complete, and the other is about being commissioned or sent out because of the work of someone else. In this time of graduations, I've been thinking about these two realities. You see, ascension is about having completed some work that then gives way to others being able to continue on in that work and even makes them more capable of continuing that work after we leave. As graduations happen this week, I wonder, are you ready to ascend? The Christian life is about building toward our final ascent, if you will. But there are many ascents, that's many, along the way that help us ready for the great ascension of death. Now, over 16 years, I have seen many students make their way through WashU and the Catholic Student Center. And I have seen many examples of students who were truly ready to ascend as their time came to a close. And in their wake, a descent of love happened for others, that their work could continue on. One example that sticks out is a student who was truly ready to ascend from their time at WashU. He had completed his work well at WashU. His legacy when he left WashU was many things, but in particular, two initiatives flourished on long after he graduated. He helped start the Engineers Without Borders chapter at WashU, and he established a freshman small group experience here at the Catholic Student Center that carried on for many years. There were two things that were at the heart of his legacy. One, everything he worked on, he did with others. He did it within a team. And he invited others into that work. And two, the work he did here at WashU was meant to build others up, not himself up. And the legacy of those programs lived on not because of his name, but because of the lives he affected long after he had left, in a way that those who were affected didn't even know him or his name. His ascension from WashU led to the commissioning of many others who followed from his legacy. What is your legacy? How will you ascend? You see, that quote from Lumen Gentium that I said earlier at the beginning just talks about the work Jesus did to enable others to continue on after he ascended into heaven. What will your ascension enable at the university after you leave, or in your faith community here at the CSC, or in your friendships? Ascending is not just something for the end of life, or even for long periods of life. It can also be a daily choice. Will you choose to build relationships that are worthy of heartfelt goodbyes, that you can ascend from, leaving those persons more capable of loving others? There's a reason that Jesus only appeared to certain people after his resurrection. He had established deep and meaningful relationships with them. They were worthy of heartfelt goodbyes. We have daily choices that leave a legacy. I'm very aware as a father, on a daily basis, I am leaving a legacy with my children that either enables them to love better in the world or not. One day I will ascend from their lives, either metaphorically when they move on to adulthood and no longer need my daily guidance, or literally when I pass from this world to the next. The measure of my legacy with them will be whether my ascension will lead to a Pentecost reality in their lives, or Will they be left huddled in a room, unable to bring about love in the world? Are you ready to ascend? What will your legacy be?